You don't need more motivation. You've had motivation before. You had it on Monday, you lost it by Thursday. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You're not stuck because you're weak. You're stuck because you don't have a system that survives your moods. If I gave you two options right now, option A, one massive breakthrough this month. Option B, a brutal, measurable 1% upgrade every day. Most people chase the breakthrough. And that's why they keep starting over. In the next few minutes, I'll show you the 5 skills that decide whether you change for real or just feel inspired. Listen carefully, my friend. The biggest scam in self-improvement is this. You take a good feeling and you call it a plan. You watch a video like this, you get fired up, you say, that's it. Tomorrow I'm a new person. And for a few hours, you believe it. Monday morning, you're unstoppable. Tuesday, you're still trying. By Thursday, you're back on your phone, back in your old habits, back telling yourself, I just need more motivation. Here's the truth nobody likes to admit. Motivation is a mood, and moods don't show up on time. Motivation is like a song. It can lift you up, but it cannot carry you for 5 years. Discipline is not a song. Discipline is behavior. It's what you do when the music stops. And a system is bigger than both. A system is the environment you live in and the rules you follow. It's what makes the right action easier and the wrong action harder. It's alarms. It's checklists. It's removing temptation. It's deciding once so you don't have to fight yourself every day. Most people already know what they should do. They know the 5 skills: clarity, discipline, communication, emotional control, learning. They've heard it. They've saved the code. They've liked the post, but they still don't change because knowing is not measuring and measuring is not repeating. Let me give you a simple example. If I told you I want to get stronger, that sounds nice, but it means nothing. If I told you I will do 10 push-ups every morning right after I brush my teeth, now we have something. Now we can track it. Now we can repeat it. This is why the 1% rule is so powerful. It's not magic. It's not hype. It's a way to stop lying to yourself. Because the moment you can't measure your progress, your brain will start inventing stories. I'm trying. I'm improving. I'm getting there. But your life doesn't change from stories. It changes from evidence. So don't ask yourself, do I feel motivated? Ask yourself, what is my 1% today? And where is the proof? And once you understand that, you're ready for the next part. Because those 5 skills everyone talks about, they're not a checklist. They're a machine. So we talked about motivation, discipline, and systems. Now let's talk about the engine itself. Because these 5 things people keep mentioning, clarity, discipline, communication, emotional control, and learning, my friend, they are not a checklist. They are a machine. A checklist is something you tick once and forget. A machine is something you feed every day. And if one part breaks, the whole thing stops working. Here's the truth nobody likes to admit. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because their life has no direction, no movement, no doors, no stability, and no survival skills. And those 5 words are exactly what these 5 skills are. Clarity is direction. Discipline is movement. Communication is doors. Emotional control is stability. Learning is survival. Let me make it simple. If your direction is blurry, your movement becomes random. You're busy, but you're not building anything. You're like a taxi driver with no destination burning fuel all day, ending up nowhere. And that's why I don't want you to understand these skills. I want you to measure them. Because if you can't measure it, You will always believe you are improving even when you're not. So let me give you one tiny, boring, but powerful 1% metric for each one. First, clarity. Every morning, write one sentence. Today, the one thing that matters is one sentence, not a whole book. If you can't define your day will define you. Second, discipline. Before 10 a.m., finish one hard thing you've been avoiding. One email, one workout, one page, one uncomfortable task. Not because it's big, because it proves you can move without permission from your mood. Third, communication. Send one message that opens a door. A thank you, a follow-up, a question, a small connection. Opportunities don't come to people who hide. They come to people who reach. Fourth, emotional control. Practice a 10-second pause before you react. 10 seconds. That's it. Because the difference between a stable life and a chaotic life is not intelligence. It's how fast you lose control. And fifth, learn and adapt. Spend 20 minutes learning something that makes you more valuable. Read, watch, practice, take notes. Because the world does not reward the person who stays the same. The world rewards the person who can survive change. Now, listen, this is the part that most people miss. You don't need to improve all 5 perfectly at once. That's not the goal. The goal is to find the broken link. Because these 5 skills don't live separately, they loop. If your clarity is weak, your discipline will feel like punishment. If your emotional control is weak, your communication will become drama. If your learning is weak, you will fall behind no matter how hard you work. One weak part will sabotage the others. And you think you're just not consistent, where really your machine is running with one missing gear. So the question is not, can I do all 5? The real question is, which one is breaking my entire system right now? And in the next part, I'm going to help you find it fast. Let me ask you a question, my friend. If your life is not moving, where exactly is it breaking? Because now you understand the machine. You understand the 5 gears. But here's the problem. Most people try to fix everything at once. They buy 10 books. They start 5 routine. They wake up at 5 a.m. for 3 days. And then they crash. Here's the truth. You don't need a new personality. You need to find the one broken link. So I'm going to give you a 90-second test. 5 questions. No overthinking. Just answer honestly. And by the end, you will know the one skill you must rebuild first. Ready? Let's go. First, question clarity, direction. When you wake up tomorrow, can you say in one sentence what you're building right now? Not what you want someday, what you are building this month. If your answer is fuzzy, your clarity is weak. And if your clarity is weak, everything else becomes random. Second question, discipline, movement. In the last 7 days, did you finish one hard thing before 10 a.m.? One task you didn't feel like doing, but you did it anyway. If your life is full of plans, but empty of completed hard tasks, discipline is the broken link. Third question, communication, doors. In the last 7 days, did you open one door? Did you reach out to someone, ask for feedback, apply for something, post your work, pitch an idea? If you're working in silence and waiting to be discovered, my friend, communication is the broken link. Fourth question, emotional control, stability. When something goes wrong, low views, a mistake, an argument, a bad day, do you spiral? Do you lose 2 hours scrolling? Do you eat your feelings? Do you quit the whole week because of one moment? If one emotion can hijack your entire day. Emotional control is the broken link. Fifth question, learn and adapt. Survival. Are you learning something that makes you more valuable every week? Not watching random videos. Learning, taking notes, practicing, improving a skill. If you're repeating the same year over and over again, learning is the broken link. Now pause. Don't lie to yourself. Which question hurt the most? Because that's usually the answer. And here's the aha that changes everything. You are not failing because you are bad. You are failing because you are using your strongest skill to cover your weakest one. Let me explain. Some people have discipline, but no clarity. So they work hard in the wrong direction. They become exhausted, not successful. Some people have clarity, but no emotional control. So they know exactly what to do. Then one bad day destroys the whole plan. Some people learn a lot, but they never communicate. They become smart and invisible. We've all done it. We try to compensate instead of repair. And that's why we keep starting over. So here's what I want you to do. Not 5, 1. For the next 30 days, you will build a 1% habit around that one skill. Because one repaired gear can restart the whole machine. And if you're a small YouTuber watching this, listen carefully. This test is even more important for you. If you don't have clarity, you post random videos and call it consistency. If you don't have discipline, you wait for inspiration and call it perfection. If you don't communicate, you upload and disappear, then blame the algorithm. If you don't control your emotions, one low view video will make you quit. And if you don't learn, you'll stay stuck with the same editing, the same titles, the same results. So don't guess, diagnose. Because progress is not about doing more. Progress is about fixing what's broken. And once you know your broken link, the next part will hit you hard, because I'm going to show you why chasing shortcuts like a jackpot or miracle moment doesn't save you. It only exposes you. Now, listen carefully, my friend. This is where most people get offended. Because the moment you finally see your broken link, your brain will still try to escape the price of fixing it, and the escape always looks the same. A shortcut, a miracle, a jackpot. You tell yourself, if I just get one big opportunity, everything will change. If I get that job, that money, that connection, that viral video, my life is solved. Let me give you the twist. $10 million won't save you. It will expose you, because money does not create character. Money reveals it. Money is like turning the lights on in a messy room. The mess was always there. Now you just can't hide it. So let's play that lottery fantasy for a second. You wake up tomorrow and your account says 10 million. No boss, no stress, no deadlines. You feel free. But tell me, what happens on day 30? Do you wake up early, or do you sleep until noon because nobody's forcing you? Do you train your body, or do you treat your body like a trash can because you deserve it? Do you build something meaningful, or do you buy things to distract yourself from an emptiness you never fixed? Here's the truth. Most people don't want money. They want relief. They want the pressure to stop. They want the fear to stop. They want the feeling of being behind to stop. And money can buy relief for a moment, but it cannot buy structure. It cannot buy discipline. It cannot buy emotional control. It cannot buy a mindset that knows what to do when nobody's watching. That's why so many people get a breakthrough and still lose their life. They get the money, but they keep the habits. They get the opportunity, but they keep the identity. They get the spotlight, but they keep the insecurity. So the money becomes gasoline. If your system is stable, gasoline takes you further. If your system is broken, gasoline burns your life faster. And this is why the 1% rule is not boring. It's brutal. Because it forces you to become the kind of person who can hold success without destroying it. Let me make it simple. If you can't control your emotions when you have nothing, what do you think happens when you have everything? If you can't manage your time now, what do you think you'll do with unlimited freedom? If you can't handle rejection now, what do you think you'll do when people start using you for your money? My friend, you don't need a miracle. You need a boring system that works on bad days. You don't need a jackpot. You need habits that don't disappear when your mood disappears. Because the real flex is not making money once. The real flex is becoming the kind of person who can create it again and again and still sleep peacefully at night. And in the next part, I'm going to tell you something even more uncomfortable. Your biggest enemy is not the economy. It's not your past. It's not even your motivation. It's your energy. If your body is collapsing, your entire plan, money, discipline, goals becomes paper. Listen carefully, my friend. This is the uncomfortable truth. Your body is deciding your future more than your motivation. Because discipline cannot live in a dead battery. You can have the best plan. You can have clear goals. You can have a vision board, a notebook, 10 reminders on your phone. But if you wake up exhausted, stressed, and running on caffeine, your brain will not choose the hard thing. It will choose the easy thing. And then you call yourself weak. But you're not weak. You're overloaded. Here's what nobody explained. When your sleep is broken and your stress is high, your nervous system stays in survival mode. And the brain in survival mode does not care about your 5-year goals. It cares about one thing: relief. So it will reach for cheap dopamine. Scrolling, sugar, junk food, porn, random videos, just 5 minutes. And you know how that ends. 2 hours disappear, and you're sitting there thinking, what's wrong with me? Nothing is wrong with you. Your system is trying to protect you. This is why emotional control is not just a mindset. It's biology. People love to say, be strong, stay focused, don't be emotional. That sounds nice. But if your body is running on 4 hours of sleep, you are not controlling emotions. You are surviving them. Let me give you a simple picture. Imagine you're trying to drive across the country. Clarity is the map. Discipline is the engine. Communication is the roads. Learning is your ability to read signs. But your body is the fuel. If the fuel is empty, it doesn't matter how good your map is. You're not going anywhere. And this is where I need you to be honest with yourself. If your health collapses, every financial plan becomes paper. Every goal becomes a quote. Every dream becomes a fantasy. Because you can't outwork a body that is breaking down. You can't build a new life on a nervous system that is constantly on fire. So here's the practical part. 3 boring foundation fixes that make your 1% system actually possible. Not perfect, possible. First, protect your sleep like it's a bank account. Set a fixed time to go to bed. Not when you feel sleepy. Set it like an appointment, even if you start with just 20 minutes earlier. Because sleep is not rest. Sleep is repair. Second, stabilize your food. Don't make it complicated. Just stop spiking your body all day. If your breakfast is sugar and your lunch is nothing, your mood will crash. And when your mood crashes, your discipline disappears. Add one real meal. Add protein. Drink water. Boring, yes, but effective. Third, move your body every day. Not because you want a six-pack, because movement is a reset button for your nervous system. A 10-minute walk, a few push-ups, stretching, anything. Motion tells your body, and a safe body makes better decisions. My friend, this is not about becoming a health expert. This is about understanding one cold fact. Your habits are not just moral choices. They are energy choices. When your energy is stable, discipline becomes easier. When your energy is unstable, discipline becomes a fight you lose daily. So don't start by trying to be a superhero. Start by fixing the foundation, because once your body is working with you, not against you, then the 1% rule finally has soil to grow in. And that brings us to the next part, because people hear improve every day and they immediately panic. They think it means grinding until they burn out. It doesn't. In fact, the next truth might surprise you. Now let me address the question I know some of you are thinking, my friend, wait, if I have to improve every single day, doesn't that mean I can never rest? Doesn't that mean I'm always chasing, always pushing, always guilty? Listen carefully. Rest is not the enemy. Rest is part of discipline. The real problem is not resting. The real problem is resting the wrong way, because there are two kinds of rest. One kind of rest is recovery. It refuels you. It makes you sharper. It makes you stronger. You wake up with a clear mind, a steady mood, and energy to do the hard thing. The other kind of rest is escape. It doesn't refuel you. It numbs you. It's scrolling until your eyes hurt. It's binge watching while your anxiety grows. It's I deserve this while you're slowly losing yourself. And here's the cold truth. Most people call escape rest, and then they wonder why they feel worse. My friend, if your nervous system is living constant alarm, no sleep, too much stress, too many problems, then your emotions will never be stable. You cannot demand calm from a body that thinks it's in danger. So when I say improve 1% every day, I'm not telling you to grind until you break. I'm telling you to build a system that doesn't break you. Because discipline is not more effort. Discipline is smart protection. Let me give you an example. Athletes don't train hard every day. They train smart. They recover. They stretch. They sleep. They take rest days. And that's why they can perform when it matters. But imagine an athlete who trains hard, sleeps 3 hours, eats junk, never recovers, and then says, I'm disciplined. No. That person is not disciplined. That person is self-destructing. And a lot of people live like that. They think exhaustion is proof. They think burnout is a badge. They think guilt is motivation. It's not. Here's the truth nobody likes to admit. If your system depends on self-hate, it will collapse. Because eventually you run out of hate and then you stop. So let me redefine rest for you. Rest is not a reward for finishing everything. Rest is a requirement for continuing. Rest is not quitting. Rest is maintenance. It's like charging your phone. Nobody says, my phone is weak because it needs charging. That's how it works. If you don't charge it, it dies. And your mind works the same way. Now let's talk about acceptance, because some people hear that word and they think it means giving up. Acceptance is not surrender. Acceptance is honesty. It's the moment you stop lying about your current situation so you can choose the right strategy. Acceptance says, this is where I am. Not to stay there, but to stop wasting energy pretending, because you cannot build a system on denial. If you're exhausted, accept it. Then fix the foundation. If your schedule is chaos, accept it. Then design rules. If you keep reacting emotionally, accept it. Then train the pause. My friend, rest is not betrayal. Rest is part of discipline. You don't rest to become weaker. You rest so you don't break. And when you rest the right way, you come back with something most people never have. Consistency without suffering. So now that we've removed the guilt, here's where we go next. I'm going to give you a 30-day plan, simple, measurable, and realistic, so you can build your 1% system without needing a new life overnight. All right, my friend. Now we stop talking about ideas and we start talking about a plan. Not a new life plan. Not a wake up at 5 a.m. and become a different person plan. A 30-day plan. Simple, measurable, boring enough to work. Because here's the truth. You don't need a breakthrough. You need a repeatable system. So let me give you the structure in 3 layers. First 7 days, build the foundation. Next 14 days, repeat the loop. Final 9 days, increase the load just a little. And every day takes 15 to 30 minutes. That's it. No motivation required. Only a checkbox. Now listen carefully. You are not trying to improve all 5 skills at once. You are trying to improve your weakest link. But you will still touch all 5 every day in a tiny way, so the machine keep moving. Here's day 1 to day 7. The foundation, clarity. Write 1 sentence. 1 sentence only. The one thing I'm building in the next 30 days is, if you can write that sentence, you're not behind. You're just driving without a map. Discipline 1 hard thing before 10 a.m. Not 10 tasks. 1. The one you keep avoiding. Finish it early so your day stops owning you. Communication. 1 connection message. A text. A voice note. A follow-up. Hey, I appreciate you. How are you doing? This is how doors open. Quietly. Emotional control. 1 pause. 10 seconds. When you feel the impulse, anger, panic, scrolling, stop. Breathe. Name it. I'm stressed. That's it. You just went from reacting to responding. Learn and adapt. 20 minutes of learning. A book, a skill video, writing, editing, anything. But it must be intentional, not random entertainment. That's the foundation week. And here's the key rule. You're not aiming for perfect. You're aiming for done. Now, day 8 to day 21, the repetition phase. This is where most people quit because it feels small. And that's why it works. In these 14 days, you keep the same 5 actions, same checklist, same time window, same simplicity, because repetition is the real teacher. And you track it with a scoreboard. Get a piece of paper, draw 30 boxes. Every day you complete your system, you check the box. No journaling, no long reflection, just a check. Because your brain respects evidence, not emotions. Some days you will feel amazing. Some days you will feel nothing. The box still gets checked. Now the final 9 days, day 22 to day 30, increase the load. Not double, not triple, just 1%. Here's what you do. Clarity stays 1 sentence, but now you add 1 micro priority for tomorrow. One thing that makes tomorrow easier is discipline stays 1 hard thing, but you do it 10 minutes earlier than usual. You are training identity. I move first. Communication stays 1 message, but 1 day a week. Make it a call. It's harder. That's why it builds confidence. Emotional control stays 1 pause, but now you add a reset tool. 10 deep breaths or a 2-minute walk. something physical, because your body calms your mind. Learning stays 20 minutes, but now you apply what you learned for 5 minutes. Read for 20, then execute for 5. That's how learning becomes power. Now, let me make this practical for 2 types of people. If you are a busy worker, your discipline metric is simple. 1 hard task before you check social media. Your learning might be a skill that increases your income. Your emotional control might be a pause before you speak, so you stop damaging relationships. If you are a small YouTuber, listen carefully. Clarity, 1 sentence about your next video, not a whole plan, 1 sentence. Discipline, publish 1 small output daily script, 10 lines, record 3 minutes, edit 20 minutes. Communication, reply to 5 comments or message 1 creator. Doors open through people. Emotional control, when the views are low, don't change your identity, do your system. Learning, study, 1 thing hooks, retention, thumbnails, and apply it the same day. My friend, this is the point. In 30 days, you won't become a new person. You will become a consistent person. And that is the rarest advantage on earth. So take the plan, make it boring, make it measurable, check the box, because the system doesn't care how you feel. It only cares what you repeat. Now, let me close this with 1 final truth. Because you don't need to become someone else. You just need to become the kind of person who doesn't quit because of emotions. My friend, let me end this with something simple. You don't need to become a different person. You don't need a new personality, a new life, a new identity, a new perfect morning routine. You just need to become the kind of person who doesn't quit because of emotions. Because here's the truth, nobody likes to admit. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they believe every feeling deserves a vote. They feel tired, so they stop. They feel scared, so they delay. They feel unmotivated, so they wait. They feel embarrassed, so they hide. And then they call it bad luck. But life is not controlled by your moods. Life is controlled by what you repeat. That's why we talked about the 1% rule, not as motivation, as measurement, as honesty. That's why we built a system, not to make you hustle forever, to stop you from lying to yourself. And that's why we talked about energy and rest. Because discipline cannot survive in a body that's burning out. And emotional control is not a code on a wall. It's a nervous system that isn't constantly on fire. So let's put it together. Real success is not 1 big moment. It's 1% in the right place every day, inside the right system. It's clarity, so you have direction. It's discipline, so you have movement. It's communication, so you have doors. It's emotional control, so you have stability. It's learning and adapting, so you have survival. And when 1 link breaks, the whole machine slows down. So here's the line I want you to remember. The one you can share with someone who needs it. Shortcuts give you a fast feeling. Systems give you a real life. Shortcuts make you excited for a week. Systems keep you moving for years. Now listen carefully. I'm not asking you to do everything. I'm asking you to choose 1 broken link. Just 1. Which one is hurting you the most right now? Is it clarity because you wake up busy but you don't know where you're going? Is it discipline because you keep starting and stopping? Is it communication because you're trying to win alone? Is it emotions because 1 bad day knocks you off the track? Or is it learn because you're repeating the same year again and again? Comment 1 word. Clarity, discipline, communication, emotions, or learn. And I'll give you the checklist. I'll give you the exact daily 1% actions for that one skill. So you can start immediately. Because you don't need a miracle. You need a simple system you can follow on your worst day. And if you can do that, my friend, you won't just change your results. You change the person who creates the results again and again.